My brother and sister, whoever is watching this video, and if you are an international student and you're struggling to speak in English or think in English, I want to give you a couple of tips that have helped me in my initial journey of being an international student. So, most of you may not know, or some of you who already know, as I started my journey as an international student in 2018. So, first ever time I left my village, my city, and I went to Singapore as an international student, right? I come from a farmer's background, and because of that, I didn't really had much interest in going to school and studying something fancy or like studying actually having an English curriculum in my school. Yes, I have passed school and I did it in like a government school, those government village schools. So this is where I've done my final grades, and afterwards I just didn't really have any plan. And I went to Singapore. So long story short, went there and I had no skill set also. So it's just like really, you know, I would say I was a dumb person in Singapore initially. Couldn't speak English, couldn't communicate properly. So most of them around me that would just speak English. Okay. And most of the time I wouldn't know what they're actually talking about, and I would have only one answer, and that was okay, no worries. Yeah, like just one word answers most of the time. Just didn't know what to say. So over the time, I started to practice English, and I'm still practicing. You could say now, 2018 to 2025, I would say it's just 7 years, right? So whatever I could speak in English is just like 7 years of journey. And now I'm still learning. I'm working on my accent, like new words that I could learn every day, and trying to integrate in my life and day to day basis. How can I use them? So these are the few things that I'm doing to improve myself. But what exactly I've done initially, because I didn't have no clue how can I improve my communication skills, and this is what exactly I'm gonna tell you. So a couple of things, right? First thing first is intention, and that was something that I get to realize after 3 or 4 months, that I didn't really have any intention of learning English. I was just taking life as it comes. So first of all, what you're gonna do is, if you wanna improve your English or communication skills, so you gotta set an intention. And what I mean to say that you have to be intentional about, like, you actually wanna put in the work to learn English and to improve your communication skills, or whatever you call it. You want to be intentional about it. When we say intentional, it's more of like, if you are overweight or if you are so skinny, you are intentionally going to gym, intentionally choosing to have a good diet, healthy diet, so that you can get physical body transformation. And it also translates to, if you are low on income, if you are less money, you intentionally try to work more, you intentionally try to apply for more jobs so you can work more and earn more, right? It's more intentional actions. That means we take control of putting the actions, right? And I'm and it goes the same with English as well. And when I'm saying about being intentional to learn about English, I want you to think about, when was the last time you felt uncomfortable in front of someone when they were talking to you in English, or they were just trying to have engagement in English with you and you couldn't answer properly? So that was more of a, you know, uncomfortable time for you, and you felt like, not really good, I would say, but it's more of like, having shame within you, that okay, you're here and you're part of the conversation and you don't know how to explain it. And it's not a problem. I want you to think about these things. Why? Because that will give you a bit of burning desire and give you another perspective of it. Because think about it, when you are fat or when you are skinny, people will make fun of you. Even though they won't, you know that they are making fun of you. You know that you're not looking good. You know there is no confidence. And then you start to make changes in your diet, in your exercise, and then you start seeing good results. And same goes here. When you know that there are certain moments when you felt ashamed, when you felt uncomfortable, while speaking and communicating with someone in English. That will give you a sense that you have to improve. And this is what exactly you're going to do. Set an intention because you felt uncomfortable, because you felt shamed, because you felt bad, and now you don't want to feel it. So you want to feel better. You want to be someone when a thing has been given to you in English, someone is trying to communicate with you in English, you have a really good answer in English to say to that person. This is exactly what you're going to do. Now, the second thing that you need to do, especially if you're an international student, you probably have chances that you are visiting your campus on a regular basis. Unless you are studying online or you have online classes, that's a bit different scenario. But if you can still apply this principle, so what you're gonna do is just to build your confidence in public, which I've done. You're going to your campus, you're going to your classroom, and you're going to approach at least five, if not five, at least three strangers in your class, in your campus, and you're going to talk to them, say hi, hello. Don't come across as a creepy dude or creepy person. Go and talk to them on like a common thing, common topic, and that could be if that a person is your classmate. Okay, what's going on in a workshop, lecture? Hey, do you have any team member in your group who is willing to do project together, or if you want to do project together, or like, do you need any help with that, or yes, I need help, can you help me out? Like any topic, as long as you have mutual interest on it. And if you don't have mutual interest, find one. When you will do that, for the first few days it's going to be really uncomfortable, and you may not do it because we are so used to it being in our comfort zone that we don't like to actually go and talk to people. We have this some sort of social anxiety, and we want to remove it. That is number one when it comes to speaking English, because you will be talking to people in English, and yes, you are confident in your own language, but when it comes to English, you lose your confidence. So this thing will help you to gain your confidence when it comes to talking to a stranger, talking to someone in English. And that could be your friend, even though you're a guy and you're going out for a date or something, right? You have to communicate, you have to talk. And that would be great if you can add this English confidence and wear it properly. Practice is enough so that you can deliver it properly when the time happens. Now, the third thing that you're going to do is I want you to grab your pen and piece of paper. If you do journaling, that's great. If you don't, then start doing one. So, what you want to do is I want you to start writing your thoughts on a piece of paper with pen. And the way you're going to do, find a structure to put your thoughts into it. So I'm going to give you an example here right now. So let's say you are going through a problem that is bothering you. You're going through an issue that could be on mental level. That could be, let's say, you are far from home and you're feeling homesickness. So you're going to write down this title. Say in a way that today is the day I am feeling homesick, and this is exactly what I'm feeling. And try to explain your emotion in English. I'm feeling sad. It's making me feel depressed, and because of that, I couldn't do certain things. Write that introduction and then write down the body part of it in proper way. Like, so I've been feeling it for quite a long time, and this is what's happening. My day-to-day basis, I wake up with less energy. I have no motivation to do things and stuff like that. And then you write down solution to it, and you write solution. What are the things that you can actually do? What are the actionable tips that you can do to improve that? Now here two things are going to happen. One, you're going to get mental clarity about that problem so that you can solve that problem. Another thing which is going to happen, and you're going to train your brain in that way, it's like rewiring your brain, and your brain will be thinking those problems. It will start thinking those problems in a structured way. So What I'm trying to say, your thought process will be more structured. First thing first, you will start thinking in English, and now you're writing in English, which means your brain is also practicing in English. Another thing, you are structuring it on a piece of paper. That means your brain is also structuring the English or the problem or specific topic in your brain in English. So when the time happens, when you will start talking to someone, you may have find yourself that you usually go out of the topic. You usually um, go around the topic. Like, if let's say I'm speaking about this pen, but instead of speaking this pen, the conversation will just go somewhere else. So it usually happens because we are not thinking in English. We're thinking in our native language, then we translate it into English. So we're gonna improve it. And that's the best way to improve. This is what I've done, and I still do until today. Before, I used to write a lot because I couldn't write properly, so I just wanted to do more writing practice as well, so just to practice English. And being an international student, there are a lot of rules and regulations where you actually have to prove your English proficiency, like how fluent you are in English. And there are certain tests that you have to do, PTE, IELTS, and blah blah blah. And those things require some sort of English practice. Imagine if you're doing practice on day-to-day basis, that would be so easy for you to actually deliver good tests. You can actually score good marks as well. So it's not just one benefit of doing all these things. There are a lot of other benefits. That also means the things that I've just told you, if you follow them, these are not just like a tips that you can use on certain times and they will give you benefits. These are the habits, lifestyle habits that you have to incorporate in your day-to-day life so that you can actually own them and behave like that person who have mastered these things, which is talking to a stranger, you have confidence. Another one, you structure your thoughts. And the third one is your brain is actually now thinking in English rather than just translating what you want to say in your native language into English. So hopefully this video have helped you. These tips would really help you because they have helped me, and I've got really confidence that you will be better person if you do it for next 2-3 months. You will have more confidence, you will speak better in English. Look, rest of the things when it comes to grammar, your vocab, your accent, these are all secondary things. But the things that I'm telling you to improve on, this will help you to grow internally, your mental power, mentally you will grow. Because in order to speak with someone or like speak to someone, you need to have confidence. In order to tell someone about what you want to say, your thoughts needs to be in structure. So it's just all about knowing that what are the areas that I need to improve in and how can I improve the best way possible. So I've already given you an example. As an international student, you have this opportunity every single day. You can talk to strangers, which are your classmates, your campus mates, and you do have a piece of paper, you do have a pen. If not, then you're not a student. Well, these tips are actually useful. I've done them long enough. And sometimes what I exactly do, I would just write down certain things, like certain goals that I want to follow, and I would just put them here. These are all my goals and planning. I actually do planning on these pieces of papers so I can visually see them, because that helps me to structure my thoughts in brain and I can execute them properly. That's what I'm saying. So if you need help with more things, I would say, if you want to improve as an international student, subscribe to this channel, Mickey Farmer, because this is what I'll do. Bye bye.